I mean, I know exactly where I was sat, whatever, when that happened. And to this day, I still walk past that place and it's just like wow, you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm Anthony. I'm married to Kate. We've got two kids, George and Grace. And yeah, I'm a farmer, just an ordinary guy earning a living. And yeah, we're a member at BRBC. I see creation all around me every day of the year, whether it's a lovely day or whether it's snowy. You see those plants growing, you know that they need that water, you know they need that sunlight. And the whole of what I do is relying on a God that cares for us. As a young Christian, I thought it was difficult to live in the sort of set rules that were being taught us. So it felt like a lot of outdated rules, which didn't allow for a teenager to really be a teenager. At that point, I sort of left church, left the home life, went off to agricultural college, which was pretty lively. Church had sort of been forgotten about. Christian walk was not really evident at all. Didn't really feel as if I fitted into a church. Just saw people with this perfect life and perfect way of living, and I wasn't that. I got married to Kate, and then we had a couple of kids, and it was sort of that point where life's good, you know, I don't need anything else. So then as I started to grow with the kids, I could see that there was nothing of Jesus being taught them. They didn't understand what that message was. And although I didn't feel it fitted my scenario, I felt it was wrong not for them to hear that. A Chaos event was on at church, so the kids came along for that week during Chaos, and then it was sort of opened up to parents to come along and see what the kids have been up to, but at the same time hear what the church was and seeing sort of more inside of a church rather than just from the outside, and it was brilliant to see the energy in the building, to see the energy amongst people. It was sort of like, wow, I like this. What's this lot got that I need? You know what I mean? But yeah, we sort of got more involved in the church. Still felt as if you looked around, it didn't feel as if I was fitting into this image from what I perceived others to be able to achieve. After we came to Chaos, Grandad, who had been very, very close to me, always encouraged me in church and to be sort of trying to keep that Christian flame alive within me. So he got ill, and it was something I saw in him that just made me realize that was what I wanted. You know what I mean? I wanted that energy that even on his deathbed he had. And how can his faith be so strong in that moment when most of us would be feeling defeated, but yet he was just, come on, you know, let's be getting on with it. You know, it was just wow. So yeah, that was something that I really wanted to then delve into and try and work out. And so it was in a sermon in Nehemiah, and we were talking about how the people understood their sin, but then Jesus forgave them. Yeah, that was a moment of when the penny dropped. It was just like this, wow, you know, we come here as just people who understood our sin, but because of the grace, we are going to live differently. And that was exactly where I was at. You know what I mean? I don't need to come here living this righteous life before I walk in. I come here as a little bit bent out of shape, and because of God's grace, I live differently, and that was a pretty powerful moment. Yeah, that really was a head spinner, and the understanding and the gravity of that was enormous. Yeah, it was. I will go as far to say it changed my life. So prior to this point, I wasn't a people person. I wouldn't really bother with anybody. Numerously, I'd been asked to come along to community groups, and I personally couldn't think of anything worse. I didn't want to be around folk. I didn't want to understand their position, and I didn't really want them to understand who I was. Then on the other side of this, it was just sort of a point at which I wanted to get alongside people. I wanted to hear their story, and I wanted to tell my story. One afternoon, community group was the next day, and James was stuck in Italy, and he rang me up and said, "Hey, I can't get back from Italy. Can you lead the community group tonight?" And I was like, "Not a chance. What? This can't be real, you know." So anyway, went for it, and the rest is history. Been leading one for now a few years, and absolutely love it. You know what I mean? It's not the false smile. It's the, you know, I'm hurting or I'm happy. You know, it's both are to be shared. We don't want to accept we're wrong, but in understanding that we are a little bit bent and twisted out of shape, that's during those times that will be put right. I think you've got to have a willingness to be broken, to then grow on into who he wants you to be. And in that brokenness, or understanding of that brokenness, then you're listening, and it's in those times when you're listening that then the true you is being created.